We do have safety contracts that you must review and sign. They are on the richland2.org safety commitment, so please sign those as soon as you can. Let's try to have them in by the first Friday in September. Quick reference charts that we post in your room. Many of you already have them, some of you may not, but if you do not have one, we'll make sure that you get one. Please don't hesitate to let me know. And these quick reference charts do go over our fire and severe weather codes and our alarm codes and so forth. You also should have in your safety folders, the red folders, remember, for yourself and for substitutes when they come, the safety maps and charts that will help people know which way they're supposed to exit and vacate the building in the case of one of our alarms. If there is an evacuation of any kind, whether it's for a fire drill or for a real emergency, please do not call the front office to verify if this is a drill or a real situation. Just always assume that it's a real situation. Grab your emergency notebook, ensure that your students have all their belongings, and note anything out of the ordinary in your classroom as you're leaving. Okay, windows and doors should be closed, but you don't have to worry about locking them. And do not turn off any of your electrical devices, including the lights, if we're evacuating the building. And then evacuate immediately, and then you will go on the indicated evacuation plan. Those plans will be posted, and you'll be able to see them online, and I'll go over those again in faculty meeting and so forth, so that everybody will be clear on where they're evacuating the school from. Our school safety codes, if you remember, white will be a medical emergency, blue is an intruder in the building, red, bomb or explosion or a threat of that. Orange would be some sort of chemical or biological emergency. The gray is just a weather warning, and then black is the extreme weather. Of course, we would notify you of all those things. In the case of a medical emergency, the medical alert team will be the ones basically that are called first, and we will usually handle that over the radios and not with the PA. Code blue would be our intruder on campus. When that happens, please make sure that you lock all your doors and remain in your room. Stay away from the windows and doors, stay out of the sight lines, and turn off your lights and remain quiet. Students shouldn't be using cell phones at that time, neither should anybody else in the room using cell phones at that time. Keep your phone lines clear in your room as well, unless you're giving information to somebody about the intruder. All right, and again, don't answer the door because you don't know who it is. Usually on a code red, that's a fire, and the fire alarm will sound, and then you will exit the building in the plan that we've discussed already, and that you should have again in your red folders that we use for in case of emergencies. If it's a code red and it involves an explosive device, a bomb of some sort, or the threat of one, you will evacuate the building to the assigned site. Take your book bags and your purses with you in this situation, and again, do not use your radios or cell phones in the immediate vicinity of where we're at in the building. We got to evacuate the site. And do not return back on any of these unless it is an all clear. In the case of the chemical or the biological type of situation, code orange is the announcement. We will go to a lockdown, and you will close and secure all windows and doors at that time. If there are interior rooms, if you're out on the outskirts, if there's interior rooms, you will move into them possibly, because we will, in a situation like that, probably be shutting down air handling units and so forth. And again, stay where you're at until you receive an all clear. Again, drills will usually, when we do have drills, they'll usually be planned, and we will hold them usually during the week immediately following each faculty meeting. Now that doesn't mean we're going to have a faculty meeting and then a drill. It just means we will try to have a faculty meeting before we have a drill, so that we can talk about it before we do it, so that you're aware of it. But still, we need to be prepared, because sometimes things are going to happen that will not be a drill, and we need to be ready. Campus visitors, all campus visitors are supposed to sign in through the lobby guard in the main office and should be wearing a sticker. If you see a visitor on campus and they're not wearing one of those ID stickers of some sort, go ahead and ask them if they need assistance, and then send them to the main office. And if you feel uncomfortable, call for an administrator immediately. But even if you send one to the main office, please also let the administrator know that there was somebody on campus that was not properly ID'd. Daily safety on our campus. This is to try to keep you from getting hurt, but also to keep us from having any workers' comp claims. Don't stand on tables. Use the appropriate ladders. There's a ladder on each hallway. Again, chairs, step stools, and things like that, that's not appropriate to stand on, so please don't do that. If things are too heavy, don't carry them. Call the front office, and let's see if we can get somebody to help you carry those things where they need to be carried to, or put them on a cart and wheel them to where you need to have that item delivered to. Do your best to please not clutter up your rooms, particularly the walkways for the kids and for yourself when you're moving about. And I know sometimes that is a little harder than it should be, but do your best in that area to keep your rooms clear. Use the ladders and the carts that were provided by the school when you need to move things, when you need to get up off the ground to do something. And I think if we do that, we should be good. And again, if you know you're doing things like that, particularly on a day where you know you're going to be moving stuff or you're going to be more active, make sure you wear the appropriate footwear for that. That will also help with some of the slips and trips and falls. If you do get hurt, workers' comp claims, there are two options. If you're hurt at work, one of those options required, and you have to miss days. One of them is to go on to workers' comp. And if you have to go on workers' comp, then that will only pay you approximately 2/3 of your current pay. Since our district is not paying your salary, no deductions are being withheld at that time. So that's the way that works. Or you can stay on your district salary, which is the second way. And you use your accrued sick days for that. Now, in addition, if you have to file a workers' comp claim, you need to see Ms. Hansford in the main office where she has the forms to fill out for that. Even if you're injured and you're not going to go to the doctor, please fill out one of those forms if it happens here at school or in a school-related activity. In addition to that, I need to know about it, and if it requires our nurse or medical attention of any kind, or even to be looked at, then also our school nurse, Ms. Ladd, needs to be made aware of that as soon as possible when that happens. All right, so that's our safety portion of the discussion. If you have any questions, if I can help in any way, that's what I'm here for. So please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks. Go Blazers.